So, because of Nollywood, some of you really believe that a child out of wedlock is going to somehow become the next president of the nation, sort out all your medical bills, and become the world hero. Well, this is real life. And one thing I'm going to be telling you consistently on this channel is that everything they told you in Hollywood, in Nollywood, everything you've seen in movies are all lies. So I'm here to tell you that child that you are choosing to keep is going to do nothing but ruin your life. Okay, I guess from the title you already know what I'm already here to talk about, so let's just get straight into the video. My name is Blessing and I'm a TikToker, YouTuber, content creator. Yeah, that's me. Okay, if you follow me on TikTok and Instagram, then you know that I am a staunch man hater. I am a matriarch. Yeah, I believe women are better than men, and I'm I guess you can say a feminist, but not really. I'd like to be a cult leader, but that's like a story for another day. Anyway, without further ado, let's get straight into the video. I'm here to give you about 5, or is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yeah, 5 things that's gonna happen to you if you choose to have a child out of wedlock. Now, this video is not scripted. I just basically just listed everything, so I'm really gonna go off and on and off and on. But yeah, that's just what I want to say. And I would have made this into a TikTok video, but I feel like it's going to be a really long TikTok video, and I don't like making long TikTok videos. So number 1, a child out of wedlock will keep you poor. Yup, a child out of wedlock is a child that was not planned. Many of them, it happened because, okay, boyfriend and girlfriend were just having fun, boom, so many people were raped. I don't know if I can say the word on YouTube, but so many people were raped, like RAPED. A lot of people were raped. A lot of people were deceived, right, into marriage with stupid ass men that they did not plan. And once the child came in the marriage, the men were like, you know what, I'm going to check out. The women are now left with the child. Now, I have my reserves for women who are in marriages, who have children, because, you know, you did everything right. Okay, you did everything right by the book. You got married and then you had a child. But unfortunately, this is real life, like I said. In movies, you would see men who they would have children and they would keep to the child. They would keep to their promise and be like, oh, I made you a promise. I'm going to stick with you together forever. Under rain, under sun, yada, yada, yada. They would do everything, even rob the bank just to make sure that their woman gets what she needs. Well, in real life, it ain't like that. It ain't like that in real life, okay? Real life is different. Real life is harsh. Real life is brutal. Okay, so many men will get into a marriage not knowing what the fuck they're doing. Once responsibilities start showing up, they'll be like, you know what, I'm gonna bounce. And then they'll leave the woman with the child. So now, because that child is not planned and you chose to keep it, that child is gonna take half of your finances that you did not plan to have, that you did not plan to spend on a child. Probably you were doing well for yourself, but because you did not plan a child, you did not keep money aside for the child. So every money that you might have saved up, probably to use for your education, money that you chose to use for something else, you know, it could be anything. It could be your health. It could be anything. You want to buy a new car, you want to buy a land or stuff. Even like if it's just like a petty business you want to start, because you did not plan that child, you're going to carry all that money and spend it on that child. And that's just one aspect of it, right? 2, because you did not plan it, you're going to start changing your whole plans, changing your whole you know, circumference of life, everything you wanted to do in the first place. You'll be like, you know what, now there's a child. And one thing about a child, it's like the longest commitment that I've ever seen in my life. So it's not like you're going to be doing that for 2 months and then you bounce. No, you're going to be doing it for a really long motherfucking time. There is the pregnancy stage, and pregnancy is almost a year, a whole year of being pregnant. Month by month, you're spending money month by month, and sometimes it's really difficult for women who are pregnant to get a job, right? And I'm going to speak personally. I was somebody who had a child out of wedlock, but the reason why it's still looking like my life is still moving on the way it is because I gave that child up for adoption. Because a child that I did not plan to have is not gonna stop my life. I did not plan to have the child, so the child is not gonna stay. It's just like that. And the thing is, I gave the child up for adoption because it was already too late. Before I found out that I was pregnant, it was already too late for me to, the child. So what I did was I said, okay, I'm gonna carry it full term, but I'm gonna give it up for adoption. So that's what I did, and I will be forever proud of that decision. Forever, ever. My child is happy where she is, and I'm happy where I motherfucking am. Okay, so. And if your reason for keeping that child is not because you actually want a child and you've actually prepared for a child, if your only reason for keeping a child is because you think, oh, one day the child is gonna turn out to be something great, bitch, you better be joking. You better be motherfucking joking. Number 2, a child out of wedlock will stunt your life. I believe this one kind of like blends in with the first one. A child that you did not plan to have will stop everything that you're doing with your life. Yes, it's gonna stop everything you're doing with your life, because there's so many things you cannot do while you're pregnant. And it's not just pregnancy. I wish having a child is just about getting pregnant and then giving birth and then just going on about your life. Then I guess a lot of women will have children, but listen, a child is something that, like I said, is a very long commitment. So you want to really think about it, because once you have that child, you're going to need 3 months to breastfeed that child or milk feed that child. You're going to need to stay with the child, so that they'll have to form a certain bond with you. You're just going to stay there to make sure the child don't die, because these motherfuckers, they be dying. Okay, they need so much care and attention. They need all the care in the world. So you're gonna need to stay there for like 3 to 6 months, just making sure they don't die, and then you're gonna stay another 1 year to make sure that they create a bond, a mother to son or a mother to child bond. And then you're gonna need to take care of their education. You're just gonna need a lot of things. I know some of you are gonna come and say, we can still do both. If you planned it. You can do both if you planned it. But if you did not plan it, you're gonna be helter skelter. You're gonna look a mess. You're gonna look a hot mess. So you really wanna, do that stuff that I told you about. Okay, this is 2026. Women are speaking up. Things are changing. Okay, you don't have to feel bad about not wanting to keep a child. You don't. Like, it's your life. Women have fought for so many rights, right? So you've earned that right. You can say, I don't want to keep this child, take it out, or you can give it to somebody who has prepared to have a child. And it's not just for your sake that you are choosing not to keep this child, okay? You're choosing not to keep this child for the child. Yes, because it's not just you that is going to suffer in that wedlock situationship. That child is also going to suffer, because healthcare, the child is going to need proper healthcare. The child is going to need the mother to be at peace, okay? And if you're not at peace as the mother, you're going to traumatize that child. Majority of the times when I say people should not have kids, I'm basically talking about the child, not really the mother, right? Because speaking for the mother is like a little bit selfish and one-sided, because it feels like, oh, you don't want to do, you're such a bad person. But like, that child will need all the care. Like, children are very delicate, okay? Children are very delicate beings, so you want to really take care of them when they're younger, right? When they're older, they could survive. But as babies, as infants, they need care, they need love, they need stability. They need you on your A game. And you're not going to be on your A game if you're busy running helter skelter, looking for finances, looking for where to sleep, looking for another job, looking for this, that, looking for somebody to stay with you. Because I'm guessing, since you did not plan to have that child, the dad will not be there. The father of the child will not be there. So the father of the child will not be there, and it's just gonna be only you. And that child is gonna be a mess, because you're alone and you're scared and you're mentally depressed and postpartum and stuff. Listen, it's not a child's play. Now, because you have that child, everything that you were planning to do before will stop, and it will stop for a really long time. And you will see people in their, like, let's say you have the child in your 20s, before you have time for yourself completely, it's going to be at least like 5 to 6 years from when you have that child. And then you'll be in your 30s. That's when you're supposed to, like, have at least something to your name. But now you're starting over. Why? Because you choose to have a child. that you did not plan. You choose to keep it, and you chose to keep it for the wrong reasons, because you think one day this child is going to be a child out of wedlock will keep you unmarried. Yes, a child out of wedlock will keep you unmarried. We have so many men in society nowadays. And before I go further, let me just preface by saying this. Listen, I don't give a shit about marriage. Okay, you don't have to get married as a woman. You don't, right? But I'm just saying, like, if you're somebody who all your life you've always wanted to get married and stuff, like you want to have a wedding and you want to be a bride and stuff, yeah, a child out of wedlock might steal that dream. Sometimes it's not the case, okay? And everything that I'm saying, I'm not saying 100% before y'all come for me and be like, oh, she's saying don't do this, don't do that. Oh, look at you. You know, I'm just saying the truth, and I say the truth in the most brutal way possible, okay? A child out of wedlock will keep you unmarried. Why? Because you have so many men in society today who bashes single mothers. Single mother. Oh, she's a single mother. Oh, she's a single mother. First of all, being a single mother is something to be proud of, because you stayed for that child, you fought for that child. But we have so many men in society who they be like, no, I don't want to raise somebody else's child. So many women keep their children, right? Because when they're going on a date, because of this saying, like I have so many women who I know personally and even on social media who gatekeep their children. They'll tell you, oh, it's my last born, it's my mother's last born. No, it's their child. Right? They're doing this because they're scared of men telling them, oh, I don't want to get married because you're a single mother. And then not just about single men saying that they don't want single mother, it's also the man you chose to have that child for. Once you've given a man a child and y'all are now living together and you're now like doing family stuff and wifey duties, he would not see any reason to give you your big wedding. He would not see any reason. Trust me, it will take so many years, because some of you, once you have one and you're not living together with that man, you will have two, you will have three, you will have four, right? And then that man will be like, oh, but let me relax. Because one thing about men, they love relaxing. They love to relax. They don't want to do anything that's going to stress them out. So once they found out you're easy, they're going to be easy. Right? They will keep on lowering your standard until it's on the motherfucking floor. Once they notice that they don't have any reason to, I mean, she already has my child, we're already living together, we're already doing husband and wife stuff, why waste money on a wedding when we have children to take care of? That's what he's going to be thinking. So if you know you want a big wedding and you want to be a married woman, then yeah. And one child out of wedlock causes enough bad luck. Imagine having like 5 more. You will just be living in abject poverty. A wicked life, and it's not good for women. As women, our nervous system needs to be regulated. We need to be at peace. We need to be free, right? We need to have time for ourselves. If one child was bad enough for your luck, imagine 5. And there's no good that ever comes out of having so many children out of wedlock. Like, I don't know, like there's no good that comes out of it. I've seen it firsthand. Okay, you're gonna be a mess spiritually. Having kids without being married is not a good thing. Like, if you're a spiritual person, it's not even like, you don't even have to be a spiritual person for the spiritual to still affect your life. The spiritual can still affect your life in any aspect where you are. Okay, doesn't matter whether you believe in it. Life is spiritual, period. You can't do anything about that. Like, if you have one child out of wedlock, it's already going to stunt your life. It's already going to cause you numerous bad lucks. And then having 2, 3, 4, 5 in a marriage where there is no like spiritual covering. And marriage is a spiritual covering. It's not really a physical stuff. I know it's physical. A lot of people like to celebrate marriage in a physical way, but like, you need to get married so that spiritually it will be like you're not fornicating, you know. I don't know how to put it, bro. I'm fucking tired. Number 4, a child out of wedlock would bring shame to your parents. Now, this one might sound a little bit like backdated, because like, but now in 2026, everybody can do what they fucking want. But every parent's dream is to see their child getting traditionally married. Yeah, they've trained you, they've done everything they can for you, brought you to who you are today, and then you go and then just have a child for an irresponsible man that doesn't marry you, that doesn't even love you, that just used you, that is gonna bring some certain kind of negative reaction from your parents. And I know nowadays we don't really care about our parents. Like, I want to do what I want to do. My parents are narcissistic. Yeah, many parents are narcissistic, and many parents do not deserve respect. And I'm talking about the loving parents here. And one thing in life that we all want to do is to make our parents proud. I don't have a mom, I don't have a dad, so I don't really even know why I even put this on the list, to be honest, because I don't know if I can emphasize on this, but I know that if my dad were alive, if my mom were alive, I would want to do everything to please them. Like, I have loving parents. They're not the best, they have their own issues, but I have loving parents, and I know that if they are here today, I would want to do everything to make them proud. Everything, especially my mother. That's all we want to do. We want to make our parents proud. So now, with all this being said, right, the best solution to avoiding a child out of wedlock is to stay away from premarital sex. But we also have girls who were raped. The only people who are exempted from this list are people who were raped, right? People who do not have a choice, because so many women all over the world do not have a choice, because men just decide to subdue them, oppress them, segregate against them. Like, I don't know why, but like, that's just it. But I'm talking about you that have a choice. I'm talking about you that have a choice. If you have a choice, you really want to use your choices well. Not let people mentally gaslight you into thinking that having a child out of wedlock is something noble. Oh, I'm gonna keep the child, I'm gonna train the child. One day, my dear, it's unlikely for that to happen. Anyway, I've come to the end of this video. I'm making this video very short because I do not have energy to edit, but I've come to the end of this video, and I will see you in another video. Until next time, guys, bye. Please like, comment, and subscribe on this video, okay? Because I'm going to be posting more of this. See you in the next one. I hate filming YouTube. I don't know if I'm in frame because I cannot fucking see. This camera is faced back, but just bear with the motherfucking YouTube video, okay? I'm sorry if I'm cursing a lot, but like, I feel like my channel is a channel where you can feel free. So yeah, only people who are exempted from my condemnation or judgment. I really need to find more vocabulary.